Hey, John here, and I'm right now at the heart of East Nashville, right at 5 Points, home of some awesome murals, and this is where the annual Tomato Art Festival happens. There's great art stores and galleries and clubs and bars and all kinds of stuff right here at 5 Points. It's named 5 Points because it's where there's actually 5 points of the intersection. And a couple people have asked me if I would provide, maybe just give you a little bit of a sketch of the story or of a couple of characters. So in this video, I'm just going to give you a little overview of the story, which a lot of it takes place right here in East Nashville. And just in a nutshell, this is a story about an accidental band, a band that never really wanted to be a band. Most of the people in the story never really intended to, some of them didn't even want to play music together. But it's about a group of folks, several of them seniors, people in their late 60s and early 70s, and then several are college students and young musicians who just started to play music together in a garage over on Boscobel Street because a couple of the young students who are crack musicians, just amazing players, based on kids I've known and worked with, but they heard their neighbor playing, and he was older, and they'd known him for a long time, but they didn't know that he could play guitar, and he had some soul in what he was doing, and they just knew that they needed to be around that. And that one thing leads to another, and this kind of multicultural, multi-generational group comes together to start playing music, and it becomes this conversation. And in the process, this thing happens, and I'm not going to give away too much, but this accidental band kind of catches on and reluctantly moves from sort of step to step. And at the very beginning, the very first pages of the story, you realize that this group has to kind of ask themselves, has this thing gotten so big that it's undermining its very reason for being? The other thing is that you start to realize that music for each of these characters is really an excuse for them to get together, and that each of them is really after something else. Through a process of interviews and conversations, you start to learn the backstory of a Mexican-American character, an African-American character, a white guy from Cookville, a woman from New York, and then the college students, and you start to find out that what they really are seeking is something deeper, something much more important, and that the music provides a sort of a catalyst for that stuff to happen. So what will they do? Will they continue to ride this wave? Will they shut it down? There's some questions about that, and then there's interpersonal questions that have to get figured out as well. And along the way, there's just a lot of great music. Of course, if it's me, what else do they say? Write what you know, right? So anyway, that's just sort of a summary, and that's why I call it a rock and soul fable, all based on people I've known and stories I've heard, but really the ultimate story is kind of one I wish I could see happen. That's the fable part of it. So anyway, there's a little bit of an overview someone asked for. Next up, I'll start to give you a little bit of character sketches on some of the people and where they come from, where the ideas come from for the characters. But this one from 5 Points in East Nashville, maybe I'll give you a couple more on another day from a different angle or a different time of day. But if you come to East Nashville and tour around with me, we'll definitely be spending some time here at 5 Points. All right, peace.